Hey, yeah, good afternoon, James. On an afternoon was really quite pleasant. I mean, it's not too hot. It's cloudy, so I don't know the sun bearing down on me. But yeah, the question about the fair dates is one fair leaders are now ready to ask, and it's not the only one. The fair, you might remember, moved from September to July back in 2021. The idea was you can get better concerts in the summer, more big acts tour then. Also, kids are out of school during the day. Attendance, though, has generally trended down, notwithstanding that it's been decent so far this year. So the fair's interim CEO says the fair dates are on the table. Other priorities?
One is having more of a local participation, right? Having more vendors who are locally based, having more vendors who have a wider variety of offerings that represent our community.
Yeah, along with anything to do with the grounds. I mean, they say really everything is on the table. But back to the question of the weather, he said, look, important to remember that, yeah, this year it's been decent in July. There have been hurricanes in September, so there's no guarantee that you're going to have better weather in September than in July. But I can tell you, James, average highs in September are about 8 degrees lower than they are in July. So that's the starting point there. But he said, look, they're going to let this decision be driven by data. They don't want to just make it on emotion and what people think they remember. They're really going to go back and look, and they're going to listen to comments from fairgoers. They have QR codes, 80 of them all around the fair here, asking folks here to scan those and tell them what they think. And he says, yes, they are really going to listen. Not going to start any of this, though, until after this year's fair. They got the rest of the fair to get through in the meantime. James.
Seth, I feel like ever since they made this change, I think you said in 2021, that this question has come up at the end of the fair season every year about moving the date back to September. You know, it had been in September for so many years. People were used to it, and I think change just takes time.
It does, and that's one question they're asking is it just, I mean, again, with numbers this year so far, at least moving back in the right direction, right, is it just a question of giving it some time, or is it more of a long-term issue? But you're right. I mean, a part of it just is that people were used to one thing, now it's another thing. So is that all they're looking at? But you know, he said, look, it's going to be a methodical decision and one where they're really going to sort of talk to everybody. But notice, I should say, James, that the fact that they're saying everything is on the table is news compared to the old position leadership had taken. Remember, the former CEO left in January, and as late as sort of the end of last year's fair, they were saying, look, we are not looking at moving this fair back to September. So the fact that they're saying everything's under consideration now itself is news compared to the position they had been taking prior to this year.